Jesus stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." This morning's gospel story is Luke's telling of the locked room, the room that the disciples and their companions have locked themselves into after the death of Jesus. They're afraid because they fear the authorities will be searching them out. Luke puts in little details into his story. St. Luke, the doctor and the writer, misses nothing. We learn that the disciples and their companions, who are likely to be the women who followed Jesus, are there, and that when Jesus suddenly appears amongst them with the words, "Peace be with you," that they're startled, terrified, and thought they were seeing a ghost. Jesus can see that they do not believe what is happening and what they're seeing, and so he asks them, "Why do doubts and fears arise in your hearts?" He directs them to look at the marks on his hands, his side, and on his feet, and as they do so, Luke writes a telling sentence. While in their joy they were disbelieving and still wondering. This is perceptive. How often, when we've had a surprise, do we say, "I don't believe it, I can't believe it"? This is exactly how these friends of Jesus find themselves. They stand there gazing on the man that they have seen executed, the man whose broken dead body 3 days ago had been sealed into a rock tomb. The same man who now seemingly stands amongst them while they wonder and see and yet cannot believe what they're seeing. To convince them that he's real, Jesus asks if there is anything for him to eat, and he takes a piece of boiled fish, and standing there amongst his friends, Jesus eats the fish. Ghosts do not, cannot eat, but this man does. This man is real. This man is dead. But this man is alive. When he has eaten, Luke tells us that Jesus speaks. "I told you what would happen," he says to his friends, "and it has. You are now to go out into the world and proclaim God's names to all nations. You are witnesses to the truth of God. Go and tell of it." Jesus leaves them. He leaves them strengthened because they can see clearly what they never really understood about Jesus Christ until this moment in an unknown ordinary room. They now know for certain that they have walked and talked to the Son of God. It is as if the disciples have walked into a cold and grey, misty morning, one of those mornings which is damp and dull, a morning when the rising sun finds it difficult to shine. The light persists. It cuts into the mist which slowly lifts and fades, and the sun rises bright and glorious. Everything is clear. Everything can be seen, and nothing is hidden. The disciples have walked out of the mist of uncertainty and into the light of certainty. This is the gift that Jesus gives to his disciples as he says to them, "Peace be with you." Easter is a gift for us all, a gift that not only changes our view of death, but also how we live in the present. It is a gift filled with mystery and wonder, given to us just as it was to the companions of Jesus, fearful, wondering, puzzled, joyful, unbelieving, and believing in that room on that Easter so long ago. Easter is a gift which transforms our wounds through the wounds of Jesus Christ. How we're affected, changed, transformed is different for each of us. It has to be, because this is a gift of God's grace and love. And love is different and personal to each of us. A little boy is standing on a beach with his father. He's gazing out at the thin black line of the horizon. He points out towards the horizon and asks, "Is that the end of the world, Dad?" "No," replies his father. "It is the beginning of something new." We do not know what lies beyond what we know, beyond our comprehension. When the disciples lost Jesus, their world was shattered, and they didn't know what the future held. Perhaps they could see no future because they were standing in mist. They could not see beyond the dark line of the distant horizon. We all feel like this at times. Everybody does. Yesterday, as our Queen sat on her own in St. George's Chapel, with her memories of a marriage of 73 years, perhaps the mist of unknowing surrounded her, and the dark line of the horizon seemed to be final, just as it has for so many. But the Queen has a faith, a deep faith, a faith that I am sure will help to sustain her, just as faith helps to uphold all those who have lost loved ones. Just as the sun dispels the darkness, so too faith cuts through the mist and enables us to look beyond the dark line of the horizon. Easter was the beginning of something new. Easter is the beginning of something new. Faith is Easter. Easter is faith. Jesus stood among them and said to them, "Peace be with you."